Welcome to Alpha 16 in Rimworld. I want to take a look at the new release of Alpha 16, which just came out, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I've played a couple of rounds of things in here to see all the new stuff, and so I'm going to go through and just highlight some of the things that occurred in 16 that will affect our future gameplay. So the first thing I wanted to show is the new planetary map. We're just going to pick something here and generate it so that we can see the new map. So the new map is going to be spherical in nature. It isn't going to generate the entire planet, primarily because of concerns of resource consumption in doing the generation. It's about 30%. So if you can zoom in, you can zoom out, and actually by using the WASD keys, you can circle around and you can see it doesn't do the entire planet. One of the first things you're going to notice is there are a lot of icons on the map now. And each one of these areas is now a hexagon. In some cases a pentagon, but it's mostly a hexagon. And you can see things like, this is the slicers. And here are the slicers over here again. So you actually have the opportunity that if a particular faction has pissed you off, you could go around and wipe out a faction. Just take them all out. And you can see that there's different types of things. Like these are the Edbarian Confederation, and they're spacer level tech, and this is tribal level tech, and these guys are pirates. So that's one of the interesting things about this new planet. There's also some new stuff around the generation of the planet that I kind of whipped by, which is you can set a parameter around the overall temperature and rainfall of the planet. So if you want to do, like we did an ice sheet run, we had to go all the way up to the ice sheet somewhere and try to pick the best thing we could find. We could actually just crank the temperature all the way down to minimum and see if we could live. There's another thing that's kind of interesting. And once we create a map, like if I pick this spot to generate my colony in, and I go to another map, or I go to another colony like this one over here, both maps will be active at the same time. And I can actually generate multiple colonies, though it is currently not recommended because of resource constraints. But you could be swapping back and forth between the two colonies, and they're both going to be operating in real time. So that's kind of an interesting deal. So next I want to talk about something about how you travel around the surface. To do that, let me open up another game here. I've been running one in the God mode, and so we'll go take a look at that. So we're in my colony of Rhine, and we're going to switch over to the world screen here. Come on, there we go. So here's Rhine. Actually, is that me? Yeah, that's me. And if I want to, I can form a caravan, and in this, it'll allow me to pick the people I want to send, what animals I want to use to send them with. And so one of the things you'll see over here is, this is the mass capacity and equipment that they have, and how much capacity they still have. So this kind of gives you an idea of people I can throw into the group to actually go do something. We're going to take a couple of people here. We'll take Kuthos, Matt, and Dougherty. These are my primary... actually, or are these the ones? These are the ones down there. I want to take those guys. There we are. And the next thing I want to do is I want to take an animal with me, and I tamed a variety of things by, touching with the finger of God and saying, "You're mine." So if you look at a Thrombo, for example, in here you're going to see move speed, which is going to be important on the world map, and you're going to also see carrying capacity. In this particular case, it's 262. This is how much stuff he can actually carry on him. If you look at a Muffalo, you can see that his carry, where is his carry? Carry capacity is 150. Now, at the beginning, let's take a look at Mega Sloth. Mega Sloth has got a carry capacity of 300. An Alpaca has got a carry capacity of 75. So this should give you kind of an idea of what's going to be required when you want to make a travel. And you're going to have to end up taking... I did this. I took a Thrombo with me, and I made it where I was going, but by the time I got there and came back, I had like nothing I could carry. It was pretty sad. So I'm going to throw in my Muffalos, all of these guys. And then if I click over here on items, I can take stuff with me, and I'm probably going to take some food. I'll take all this food here. Oh boy, I'm running low. Probably have to go magically configure some more. And then I can say which direction I want to leave the map from. And we're going to leave it there. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 10 meals. You know what? I'm going to throw in a couple of medicine here too, just in case, you know, my guys get shot up, which they will. And your colonists will now take the assigned items and leave the area as soon as possible. So if I go back into my world here and I move, you'll see that these guys are going to start moving. John just came back from something, so he's going to get hurt. But we're going to let that go. We'll kick this up to max. And you'll see these guys, they'll go all the way, get all their stuff together, and then they're going to run to the edge of the map. And of course, we got a raid. Hold on, I'm not interested in a raid right now, people. I'm going to let this raid end up, and we'll come back and talk about it. So you'll see now that my folks are running out here, and one of the things you'll notice about the buffalo, I got 2 buffalo, and then there was one with saddle packs on it, so it shows you that there's at least 1 buffalo that needs packs. So they're all going to gather to the edge, and as soon as they're here, they're going to be out. Done. Caravan is ready. So now if I go to the map, I can see where I'm going to go, and I can pick places, and you can see I'm rotating the map. I can pick this place like here, and what it'll do, take this, guys. You can do a right click on it, and I can say, hey, I'm going to go over here and attack these guys. And down here it's going to say I'm going to need 3.5 days of food, and it's about 1.8 per tile. So I'm going to go ahead and do the attack. So grab my caravan, right click, and I'm going to do attack rest stop. Okay. And you can see that these guys are slowly moving. And it's going to take a while. So up here I can see the 2 different screens. If I click here, I can see what's going on in the regular colony I'm at. If I go here, I go to the world, so I can do my colony stuff and clean up all the mess here. And I won't be needing to do that. You can have special events occur while these guys are going across the world. You can have things like they can get ambushed by an enemy faction, attacked by manhunters, encounter friendly traders. And if any of those things do happen, it'll generate a map along the way to just say, here's what's happened. So I can attack other traders, I can abandon, and in this particular case, let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to use the instant encounter, jump right on over there so you can kind of see the attack. Okay, so now that we've arrived, we've got the attack begun, I can click there, click the destination, and you'll notice that at the top, I still have 2 maps. Right, so let's go all the way out. My home map. Hello, everybody over here at the home map. And this map. And if you look in here, it'll always create some kind of a simple defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 guys. Okay, and they are reasonably armed because they're pirates. They are pirates. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on up on them here. And they're going to leave me alone. One of the things in the attack is they don't do anything until you actually do something. You got to actually attack. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go over here, and I think put one guy over here, and you. I don't know. Maybe put you over here, right in here. Now you'll notice they're not going to react until I get. These guys are going to shoot first. That's fine. As soon as they get hit or hurt, they're going to come in and start doing some damage. There it is. Now they're going to come after me. All right, so they all will attack. This whole thing will get resolved, and I'll do that really quick. So you can see now what has happened, that I've done enough damage that the outpost is considered destroyed. And these guys are all going to make a run for it, and of course, they're going to run by that area. This is not a good place to run past, guys, just saying. Oh! Shoot. Really? Get out of there, John. No, you guys stop. Don't shoot anymore. Thank you. Very good. Okay, so they're down. And did you take out one of my... No, Earth's sleeping. Alright, so now what I can do is, if I want to, I can do a claim. Orders, claim, the entire thing. Boom, I'm done. And now, John, let's go down here and start turning a couple of these things into medical beds. Medical. And we're going to take John and throw him in bed so we can get him treated. You two. I'm going to take care of this real quick. Really? You're going to shear buffalo? Okay, so my folks have been healed up, and everybody's resting, and my suggestion would be hang out here just a little bit to get yourself healed up and patched up before you head anywhere, because you don't want to be bleeding as you're going across the world after that. Once you're done, you can click on this thing, jump to this location. There's the destroyed outpost, right? So I can reform my caravan. And here's the interesting thing. I got all my people still. Now I can look at the items, and everything that dropped is available for me to take back with my next run, if you will, back to my home. So I'm going to take all the fine meal and those fine meals, because I could use some fine meals. This packaged survival meals is good because I was kind of low back at the place. And you can notice there's some luciferium here. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. That stuff is some nasty stuff. I'm taking the sniper rifle back because, you know, I can always use a sniper rifle and a charge rifle. Never have enough of those. Take another with the Molotovs in case I end up with having to worry about dealing with the infestations. Another frag grenade wouldn't be too bad. And let's see what else they've got. They got an armor vest. It's in shitty condition. A lot of clothes. Another armored vest. It's not too bad. Actually, 2 more decent armored vests. 3 more. Let's take those. And as you see me doing this, you can see up here in the caravan, I'm at 118 of 356. Right? Take the personal shield. I know some of you might want that. Ooh, power helmets. Sure. Take those. So now that I've got those things, now I can just look at starting to take, you know, money-ish type things or anything. So I'll take the chocolate. I mean, I could take some bodies. These are corpses. I could take a couple of, I think there's somebody that's still living out there. But I don't know if I could drag him along as a prisoner. That wouldn't be too bad. Take a couple of medicine with me. So, you know, just grab some stuff, and I'll just grab a bunch of things here. Some LMGs would be good for sale. Plasteel. Break it down. You know, and some other stuff. So, there we go. Let's stop there. And I can do accept. And here they are, and I can go back. And of course, if I do this instantly, but if I just click there, they're going to start wandering their way back, and they might run across some issues as they go. And that's travel. Now, there's another thing here, which is a new victory condition, which is a travel victory condition. Somewhere on the map, at some point in time, and I think it might be this one right here, this thing opens up, which is Journey's Destination. And this is an AI on a ship contacts me and says, hey, you get to me, I can get you off planet. So I haven't done that, and maybe I'll save that for a victory condition on one of the games I do in the future. But that's a new win condition, which is kind of fun. You can build transport pods in your base. Let's get these guys back, and let me show you what those pods look like. Okay, so they're all back. Hello, welcome home. And we'll let this thing run. Okay. So when you've done your research, well, you guys are doing a good job. I like it. Thank you for cleaning up while I was gone. Let's see if we can find these. Where are they? pod launcher. Transport pod. So I can put in a pod launcher here. Let's say I'll put it right here. It takes chem fuel to load. Oh, hold on. Gotta turn on God mode. We'll pop these things in here. Bink. And I might create a transport pod. Must be placed next to a pod launcher's fueling port. Oh, I get it. Let me move this. And do that. So, there we go. And now we can load people up into those if we wanted to. Set fuel level. 33 tiles. And it has no fuel. Well, I guess I'm going to... Yeah, I've got the fuel down there. So I'll wait till these guys get some fuel in there, and then we'll talk about transport pods. Well, rather than wait for the fuel, just know that you can take these transport pods and you could shoot them off somebody. You know, you can put somebody in there and then fire them off, just like you did with the world piece. We have the option of firing off those pods once they're ready. So that's going to be kind of cool. There's some new changes to the UI. There's a new change on the research screen. As you can see here, I can scroll a little bit further. In God mode, I've got it all already turned on, so I don't have to worry about that. But you can now see the relationship of the different research items. Like, for example, microelectronics basics requires electricity. Moisture pump requires microelectronics. Component assembly, I need multi-analyzer, microelectronics, electricity. So I can see the tree that I would have to research to get to any particular thing that I'm looking to do. And this is really nice. I like that. They've also redesigned the medical systems and how it generates feedback. So when you're tending wounds, you get a little bit more information on your wounds. Like if we look at John here, we can see that when I hover over this, it's going to give me a little bit more information around the pain and what percentage quality the set of the crack on his in his chest, or in this case his leg, actually was. So I got 25% on that, which is pretty cool. I like the fact that it's giving you a little bit more information about the tendings and just how good it is. There's also some additional feedback on thought bubbles, so let's see if we can catch somebody doing it as they go through here. But if they go somewhere where they're going to have a hit on their thoughts, they'll pop up a bubble that kind of gives you an idea of if it was good or bad or what the deal was. You've kind of seen some of those, like when they're in bed together with lovers, little hearts come up. Another thing they've put in there is a hold fire toggle. So when I've got these guys and I draw him, no, wrong guy. Let's take Chantal. You can see that I have allow firing or not. So in the cases where I might have some crossfire going on, I could hold fire and wait, or when any other case. It's kind of nice that I have that extra control around that. And I can also toggle the animals over here as to what they're going to do when they follow the master if he's drafted. So if I draft him, do they follow him? And I say no. If he's out there hunting and just doing his work, are they going to follow him around? Yeah, they're going to follow him around. Drugs. Drugs have been rebalanced. All the drugs have an increase in their addictiveness, and they also have a chance to do damage to particular areas of the body. So for example, if you're drinking alcohol, you have a chance to overdose on it and have some like liver damage from it, or brain damage. Pretty much all the drugs have a chance for brain damage. Drugs are also more lucrative on the market, and instead of using the malaria block, they've replaced that with a penoxyline, which will block more than just malaria. So it might block flu and a few other things too that might pop up, which is pretty cool. Luciferium, you saw that at the camp that we were at that we could bring back. Luciferium is addictive on first use, and its withdrawal is fatal. So once you get yourself addicted to Luciferium, you stick with it or you're done. You're dead. So you got to keep generating it and getting it, or it's bad. But it also occasionally will heal old wounds and scars. So if you want to get rid of that old scar, just take some Luciferium. And finally, there's a few minor changes around mood effects. For example, in the older versions of Rimworld, this is a common tactic to just build a small room, stick a bed in it, nothing else, and you're done, because their mood didn't change depending on whether or not they were asleep. This is different. So in this particular case, he knows he has an alpha bedroom. We know that. But look at this. Here's John. He's outside of it. And he still knows about he's in a spacious interior, but he will remember his bed. So if Matt heads out, come over here, Matt. There he is. So he's sitting there at the table. He's consuming a survival meal. And if we look, he still remembers he's got an awful bedroom. So this is a problem now in 16, where you can't just stick these little rooms in there and stick them all in like caskets to sleep. You're going to have to actually generate a decent room, give them some feeling of love in there, and hopefully increase their mood effects. If you rescue people now, like for example, if there's a crash-landed escape pod, and you decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that guy, but I don't want to be ruthless. I don't want to just take him prisoner and say, you're mine. You either convert or you don't get out. You know, this poor dude over here is wandering around. You know, he's like, I just hit the escape pod and now I'm taken prisoner. No, you can treat them. You just do a rescue, and they will potentially join your colony afterwards. It's not guaranteed, and it's also dependent upon the situation and the climate. If it is highly unlikely that they will survive on their own, they'll join the colony much more likely than not. In addition to that, if prisoners do something like kill another prisoner because they went crazy, they are going to get a mark on them that's called guilty. And if you kill a guilty prisoner, you will not take a mood penalty for the rest of the people. As you probably know, if your prisoners die from starvation or you put them through euthanasia, you'll take a hit because they died. If you euthanize them, you'll probably still take a hit anyway, but you won't take a hit because they died because they're guilty. Colonists also will get some more mood boost for defeating big enemies or enemy factions. So, you know, if I get attacked by a whole slew of these guys, they may come back and say, you know what, I feel pretty good about that. And let's take a look, see if they've got a buff on them. Nope, not at the moment. So they can get a buff from that, which is, I think, really cool. The fact that I lived through that, they're happy. Cleaning and harvesting jobs are something that's a little bit different now. They're going to do those in batches rather than doing one at a time. So it's not like I clean this spot and then, I got to go harvest some corn. Harvest a piece of corn. Oh, there's a spot to go clean. And they go bouncing back and forth across the map. Trying to clean everything won't happen now because they're going to be doing it in more batches. So I really applaud the improvement in the AI. Last, they did some rebalancing on most of the ranged weapons, so there's more time in cooldown, but less time in aiming. So, especially for the lighter weapons, they might be a little bit better. Who knows? Maybe if I was in Alpha 16, my siege versus miniguns would have gone different. But I'm not holding it out. As you saw that attack on the on that one base, the pirate base I just did, I was using charge rifles. I think charge rifles are probably the strongest thing in the game. You see a pattern back here. That pattern is for a different time. I've been doing experimentations around infestations. So, thanks for joining me as we took a look at Alpha 16. I'm looking forward to doing another run. We're going to fire something up. If you've got a preference on what you'd like to see, as far as the storyline for the next run in Alpha 16, let me know. Maybe if you're quick enough, I'll be able to do that before I start recording. Take care and bye-bye. Thanks for watching another episode of Dextor Plays. Please leave a like or subscribe, and post any tips or tricks down below.